The Tribe of Gad, strength. The Tribe of Gad, strength on the frontier. Ladies and gentlemen, students of Scripture and seekers of truth, today we journey into the story of one of Israel's often overlooked yet deeply significant tribes, the Tribe of Gad. His legacy begins not with a sword in hand, but with a prophecy on the lips of his father, Jacob, as he gathered his sons around his bed in Egypt to speak over their destinies. 1. Jacob's prophecy, the battle and the blessing. In Genesis 49:19, Jacob spoke these words, "Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last." At first hearing, the prophecy sounds almost like a riddle, a clash of defeat and victory woven into one short verse. But within it lies the very soul of the tribe that would descend from God, a people born for resilience, forged for battle, and destined to rise after every fall. Jacob saw in God's name, which in Hebrew means troop or a company, the image of strength through unity. Gad would be a tribe that fought not for glory, but for protection, not to conquer lands beyond their reach, but to defend the land entrusted to them. This prophetic word would shape their destiny for generations. 2. The man God, son of fortune. Gad was the seventh son of Jacob, born to Zilpah, Leah's handmaid. His very name carried the shout of joy, Gad, meaning how fortunate, or good fortune has come. From his birth, Gad's story was intertwined with struggle and blessing. He was born in a household divided by rivalries and shifting loyalties, yet he grew into a symbol of stability and strength. While little is written of Gad himself, his descendants would reflect that same mixture of hardship and endurance, those who may be pressed but never crushed, attacked but never abandoned. 3. The territory of Gad, on the edge of promise. When Israel finally entered the Promised Land, the tribe of Gad chose its inheritance east of the Jordan River, along with Reuben and half the tribe of Manasseh. Their territory stretched from the Arnon River in the south to Mount Gilead in the north, a land of rolling hills, rich pasture, and fortified cities. This region was fertile but dangerous. It sat on the frontier, exposed to raids from Ammonites, Moabites, and desert tribes. Yet this was exactly the kind of challenge Gad was made for. Moses himself recognized their warrior spirit when they approached him in Numbers 32, asking to settle on the east side of the Jordan. They promised they would not rest until they had helped their brothers secure their lands on the west. "We will not return to our homes until every one of the Israelites has received his inheritance," they said. And Moses agreed, blessing them for their courage and loyalty. Thus, Gad became the first line of defense for Israel, a shield tribe on the borderlands, guardians of the nation's eastern gate. 4. Moses' blessing, the Lion of Gad. When Moses blessed the tribes before his death, his words to Gad echoed Jacob's prophecy and magnified it. In Deuteronomy 33:20-21, he declared, "Blessed is he who enlarges Gad. He dwells as a lion and tears the arm, yeah, the crown of the head. He chose the best of the land for himself, for there a commander's portion was reserved." Moses saw in God a lion-hearted tribe, fierce in defense and wise in leadership. Their territory, the best of the land, included fertile fields and strongholds, but it also bore the scars of war. Gad was a people who lived between peace and peril, courage and compassion. And indeed, the Gadites would prove themselves mighty. 5. The warriors of God, mighty men of valor. In 1 Chronicles 12:8, during the days of King David, The Gadites are described as warriors of almost legendary strength and discipline. Mighty men of valor, fit for battle, expert with shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and who were as swift as the roes upon the mountains. These men crossed the Jordan River when it overflowed its banks, joining David in his struggle against Saul. Their loyalty was absolute, their courage unmatched. The scripture names them Ezer, Obadiah, Eliab, Mishmana, Jeremiah, Attai, Eliel, Johanan, and others, men whose reputation was that the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. Gad's strength was not only physical, it was moral. They fought with faith and fidelity, defending the unity of Israel, even when it required great personal cost. 6. The spiritual legacy of God, strength that endures. The Tribe of Gad teaches us that faith often lives on the frontier. They did not dwell in the safety of the center, but on the edge, where faith meets fear and courage meets chaos. Their land faced constant threat, yet their loyalty to Israel never wavered. Even when the northern tribes were later taken into exile by Assyria, the Gadites' legacy of courage remained a symbol of perseverance. Spiritually, Gad represents those who stand guard, the watchmen, the intercessor, the protectors of the faith. They remind us that the battle of belief is not fought once, but every day, and that the true measure of strength is not how often we win, but how faithfully we rise after being struck down. As Jacob prophesied, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. It is a promise to every believer who faces hardship, that though trials may come, victory belongs to the steadfast. 7. The Gadite spirit, a modern reflection. In a modern sense, the Gadite spirit lives on in all who stand their ground for what is right, even when the world moves against them. It lives in the soldier who defends, the shepherd who protects, the parent who prays, and the believer who endures. God was not called to dwell in ease, but in vigilance. He was the warrior of the covenant, not seeking conquest, but preservation, not pursuing wealth, but faithfulness. To be of Gad's spirit is to live with courage on the borders of the soul, guarding what is sacred, refusing to yield, and knowing that even when the world presses hard, God's promise stands stronger still. Conclusion. Overcome at the last. The story of Gad begins with prophecy and ends with perseverance. It is the tale of a people who were attacked, yet overcame, of warriors who fought not only for themselves, but for the nation and the covenant they loved. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all, that faith is not measured by ease or comfort, but by endurance. That victory is not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to surrender. And that, like God, though we may be pressed by life's battles, we shall overcome at the last. Thank you.